I'm Yuri.
I'm Jacob.
And Kia are going for a drive. We got the 2024 Kia EV9 all-electric 3-row SUV versus
the Kia Telluride 3-row SUV in all gasoline trim.
Let's start off with the horsepower and torque.
The Telluride has 291 horsepower and 262 pound-feet of torque from a 3.8-liter V6. And that EV9 has 379 horsepower, 516 pound-feet of torque from 2 electric motors and a 99.8 kilowatt-hour battery.
All right, you ready for it? Wow, not even anything.
I didn't even get to the point of downshifting by the time you were already gone.
That's electric cars for you.
Let's try that again in sport mode. Ready? 3.
Nice try.
I had to cheat and went on 3 and you still beat me.
Do we both fit in all 3 rows of these? That's what I really want to know, and I think everyone wants to know, because why else would you be buying a 3-row SUV?
Yes, we both fit in the first row very comfortably. In the second row, we also equally fit very comfortably, and we even have peasant blockers in both of these cars, which is really nice. And in the third row, the EV9 has way less room, but a little bit more headroom, surprisingly, than the Telluride, where Yuri fits absolutely perfectly.
Yeah, 5'8", I fit great in both of them in the very back, and then you have a little bit more trouble in the EV9, which I think is kind of interesting.
And in terms of trunk space, the Telluride actually has slightly more cargo capacity by the numbers.
By my eyes, they look exactly the same. So at 6'1.5", if you're sitting in the third row, you probably got to stick with the Telluride.
And if you have more than 6 family members, you're screwed with that EV9 because it only seats 6, whereas this Telluride actually seats 7 with these captain chairs back there.
Doesn't this seat 7 with a bench in the lower trim?
I wouldn't know, Yuri. We're in the top trim of both of these vehicles.
Well, it does, so just get a lower trim, I guess.
So this Telluride is in the X Pro all-wheel drive trim, which is the top trim in Canada, and that EV9 is in the Land trim with the GT line package, which is the top trim in Canada. So I guess they avoided the fire trim because they have light and wind as well. You know, the trailer wiring harnesses on the Tellurides that, you know, kind of catch fire here and there.
Good job booking both these in the top trim. I'm proud of you.
Oh, thank you. Actually, I do have to say thank you to Kia for providing this Telluride because it is one of their employee vehicles. That's how we were able to match both of these up. So let's get to the looks.
And F you to the weather because it's foggy and there's nothing we can do about it.
We've had like 30 hours of sunlight in the winter and we've been suffering through this. So thank you for watching these videos and subscribing because it kind of sucks filming in these conditions.
Are we officially more hardcore than British car reviewers now?
Are we? Oh man, that's a pretty bold statement.
All right, so off to the looks. I think obviously the EV9 looks cooler.
I wouldn't say obvious, but I would actually agree with you that it does look cooler, but the Telluride doesn't look bad.
Okay, daytime running lights in the EV9, it is cool. It goes down and whatever, like a big L, and then it goes amber when you have your hazards and signal on, which is cool. And then I can pay with my subscription for little lights to twinkle in and out after every time you restart your car, which is kind of cool. I don't know how much it costs though.
Yeah, you literally can download different light patterns for that EV9, which is insane because you have to pay for it. And this Telluride, very simple, not as cool as the first gen, but we've already mentioned that in our previous Telluride videos.
Yeah, and then taillights, I think the EV9 wins again, but the Telluride ones are growing on me a little bit.
Yeah, the Telluride does not look bad, does not even look dated compared to that EV9, although that EV9 with its box fenders and all that stuff does look really, really good.
Oh my God, are those door handles sticking out? Barf!
It's called not fuel efficiency, Yuri.
Yeah, I mean, this has handles that come in and out. It's very cool. What other cool things do each of these have? Wheels. Definitely EV9 is the winner. We got cool, square, electric-y looking wheels, and there's even in a lower trim a triangular looking wheel.
The EV9 has futuristic looking wheels. Not my favorite, but kind of cool. The Telluride is just kind of boring, plain black, just whatever. It looks kind of gray in these wintry conditions, which we did wash the cars and drove them to the filming spot, and they got dirty right away.
The real winner of the wheels is handling in these winter conditions because we're both on Continental winter tires.
We're both rolling on the Ice Contact Extreme and the Winter Contact TS850P, which would be the recommended tires for both of these.
And then, should we listen to it from the outside?
I guess. I think the Telluride wins.
Yeah, there's nothing like too annoying about this electric-y sound like there was on the RAV4 and CR-V. Watch that review. But how about electric-y sound from the inside? Pretty unoffensive in the EV9 with it fully cranked on.
And in the Telluride, silence, glorious in here. Sounds like nothing.
And then front end looks, is there one you like more than the other? Like, are you stoked on this future thing, or do you like the normalness of the Telluride? I like how it's all blacked out on that.
Man, this Telluride has really, really grown on me in this generation because of the grille and everything like that. So I will have to say Telluride, although that EV9 looks fantastic. If they just applied some of that design language to the new Telluride, it would be killer.
All right, what if we pop the hoods? What's under there? I got some storage. And since this one is the all-wheel drive one, I don't have as much storage as a rear-wheel drive version.
And I got a big old big block V6.
It's not a big block.
It is compared to an electric car that just has a frunk.
All right, yo, EV6 didn't have a rear wiper. You know what this has? Take a look. A rear
wow.
wiper.
Flexing on all those Ioniq 5 owners and all those people. And I also have a rear wiper in this thing. And Yuri, I'm kind of losing sight of you. Where are you? Where'd you go?
Yeah, disappearing into the fog. If I can't see out my rear window though, I've got a mirror camera inside. Do you got one of those?
Oh man, that's only an electric car feature. Just kidding. Telluride's got it too.
Okay, and then as for colors, I think the EV9 blue is cooler than that Telluride blue. You know I don't like blue cars, but of all the blue colors, this is one of the better ones.
Totally agree, this Telluride is a dark, boring blue.
So looks-wise, which one would you rather have sitting in your driveway?
I guess the EV9.
Me too. So now, when it comes to driving it around, range, fuel efficiency, all that stuff, let's figure out which one we would take.
I will have you know that this Telluride is actually quite fuel efficient. This Telluride is rated at a combined 11.7 liters per 100 kilometers, which is quite good. And this is an employee vehicle with a lot of mileage on it. And I actually have the total mileage that's driven from 6,500 kilometers, and the average is 11.5, beating the combined estimate.
And what is my electric range in this EV9?
435 kilometers, which is very respectful. And it actually takes like 9 hours to charge that massive battery on a level 2.
Okay, I tried to test it out on a level 3, went to my local Petro-Canada, everything looked like it was working, plugged in, timed out, no. Other one, timed out, no. Can you still charge in public? I guess not.
Well, at least it costs you less kilowatt hours per dollar or whatever, because it's not a time thing at certain stations anymore, but you can't even charge anyways.
That one was by time. Yeah, I don't know. Honestly, electric car charging is still stupid, and I don't want to talk about it.
I figured you wouldn't. 10 to 80% if you could charge is around 24 minutes, which you can't, so whatever.
I'll believe it when my turns purple and tastes like rainbow sherbet.
And you do actually have one cool feature because it is an electric car. You have OTA updates, and that's how you can get your downloadable headlights and whatnot. You can also get a feature called Remote Smart Park 2, where you can actually get out of the car and perpendicular or parallel park the car from your phone, which is psychotic.
Okay, I like the gimmicks, but not in a car I would own. I don't want over-the-air updates in anything I own, but I think as like an overall thing, it's cool. Like, I'm not here to defend this EV9. I'm just here to talk about it. There's a lot of things I don't like about this. But with all that stuff, I do like that you can preheat it with the app, locate it, all of that stuff. That's really nice and convenient to have.
And we are on the way to Cliché Corner, where we will test the suspension and handling in these foggy conditions. But while I'm in this Telluride, the ride comfort is actually really, really good. Doesn't feel too bumpy. I can daily this no problem.
This EV9 is pretty comfortable, but I've noticed sometimes you go over bumps and it rocks like side to side, something I haven't really felt in cars before.
Well, that's what I'm saying. The daily ability of that is down compared to this Telluride, because that thing feels like it has very poor body control just because it weighs so much, and you can actually feel the weight in that thing.
All right, let's switch it up. I want to feel the weight of a proper gas launch control.
Electric future launch. That's pretty damn good.
Sport, brake boost, traction off. Oh, is that a normal transmission? Woo!
Yeah, so your Telluride's got an 8-speed auto, and I've got a 1-speed in this futuristic bad boy.
Dude, being in here, I feel so much more relaxed. Like, this is a normal car. I'm not stressed out. I have hard buttons for climates, hard buttons for all my home and everything, volume knob, tuning knob. Compared to that EV9, geez Louise, this is like a day at the spa. It's so relaxing.
Yeah, I'm instantly stressed out in here. I've got my battery gauge, I've got my plug in the dash, I got everything telling me about my batteries and all that. I've got little googly eyes that were glued on for some reason. Yuri, can you tell me about that?
Okay, so when you start up your car, at first it's blank, and then it lights up where your home, your media, your start button is, and it's a capacitive button that you have to push hard on. And I got myself really distracted while looking at it while driving. So what I did was I put my kids' googly eyes on there so I can just push the googly eyes, and that seems to work better for me because whoever designed that completely blew it, especially compared to this Telluride.
But it is impressive looking, not functional looking. And then we have a totally different infotainment in this EV9, kind of reminiscent of what Hyundai and everything's doing in this same eGMP platform, although reskinned for this Hyundai because, Kia. We also have this climate control panel that is completely separate from the infotainment that can be expanded. But Yuri and I are having trouble seeing it behind the steering wheel because it's completely blocked by that. So you actually have to move your head to the side to see this extra little panel for the climate.
I think that's meant for the passengers to see. Either way, I would have rather that not even be there at all because it just makes me mad.
But we do have hard buttons for the temperature and the fan speed and the mode as well.
Yeah, they took a lesson from what the Volkswagens did wrong with theirs. But like, that whole EV9 system is so weird that I would honestly rather have the EV6 switch between system than that.
Wow, that is quite the bold statement, Yuri.
Insult of the century.
And in terms of drive modes in the EV9, they're on the steering wheel. We've got Eco, Normal, Sport, and My Drive, and then terrain modes, which is snow, mud, and sand.
Yeah, I got a bunch of that stuff in the Telluride behind the normal shifter, which is so nice. How's your shifter? Where'd they put it?
It's down at the bottom where you got to twist this little knob, just like Hyundai and Kia have been doing in their EVs. So, you know, a little bit strange to get used to.
Okay, and then your gauge cluster, do you understand everything there pretty easily?
At first glance, no. At second glance, slightly yes.
Yeah, it took me a couple hours, but I'm more used to it, and it changes with your drive modes, which are located on your steering wheel, which is a little weird. I feel like the EV9, they spaced out buttons everywhere.
And then I do have regen paddles on the steering wheel, which is kind of convenient to use, and there's even an auto mode as well.
Yeah, that iPedal and everything is very nice to use in there, but I still prefer the way the Bolt does it. But the Hyundai Kia Genesis system does work really well for regenning.
And then we both have Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. It is optionally wireless, I believe.
Only in the EV9 Telluride is still not wireless, but for me, I don't care. I don't even like wireless anyways.
No, and where's my wireless charger, Yuri, in the EV9? Oh, it's down here in the center armrest.
Yeah, you got a bunch of cool stuff. Like you got that thing that slides out and exposes your cool gimmicky cup holders, which do pass for a small cup. Telluride passes as well. And below that, you've got a cool open area, which is great for bags. So fellow fanny pack wearers, you'll have a nice spot to put your fanny pack. All right, I'm just gonna set my driving position. Oh, not available while driving. How about you, Jacob, in the EV9?
Let me try it. Nope, not available while driving. That is a known Hyundai Kia Genesis thing.
All right, I'm gonna turn on my heated seat and my heated steering wheel right around where my climate control knob is. Perfectly intuitive. How about the EV9?
Give me a moment, Yuri. It is on the door panel. Yes, it's on the door panel, the first place I'd look. And then this has the seat ergonomic thing, which I believe will automatically turn on and then kind of pump up your seats so that you don't get tired on long trips. And I actually find these seats in the EV9 to be more comfortable than the ones in the Telluride. They're just really nicely bolstered. I
like the Telluride more. Like it's, I think, softer, and then I can get my elbows on the armrests a little bit more comfortably here as well.
But I think the pattern on the Telluride actually looks a little bit better, and I've got kind of a relatively hard elbow rest in the EV9.
Yo, the seats look super cool in the EV9 though, that whole thing, and you got awesome ambient lighting that you can change. That's awesome.
Oh man, how many colors do we have to pay to download, Yuri?
Oh, none yet, but when you're scrolling through your SiriusXM, it'll like tell you to subscribe. I haven't seen too many cars tell you to subscribe yet.
What about automotive YouTubers telling people to subscribe?
Yeah, subscribe to our channel, please.
You know what they could subscribe to? Buying one of these cars on tsp.truecar.com, and then you can download all the subscription features you wanted for your own car.
Yes, and I bet you they have older gen Tellurides on there too, which, you know, might even be better than both of these. And you know what would match these Telluride seats very nicely is a set of TuxMat.
Go to TuxMat.com/TheStraightPipes to see what's available for your car.
They probably don't have it for the EV9 yet, but I'm sure it'll be there soon.
So into Cliché corner with both of these, Yuri leading in the Telluride. Let's see how these do in sport modes.
Now I got my traction off. Gonna keep it in auto because I don't have paddles and I don't want to use my shifter.
I actually do have traction off in here as well, so let's see what this does. I'm gonna turn my regen maximum just so I don't have to use the brake so much.
Yo, do the stab and go, Jacob. Do the stab and go.
I don't really trust it with this much weight going downhill.
Little slippery here today.
Yeah, it's definitely slick, and I can barely see you 5 feet in front of me, so. Stab and go. Nothing. All-wheel drive just saving me.
I feel like you're right on my tail the whole time. I can't get away. This car's kind of slow, and
oh, dude, I'm like 20% throttle through there.
it's hard to just not slide today.
It's very difficult. Even though we are on the best tires that you could possibly be, these conditions are just treacherous.
Yeah, slick central.
All right, so let's switch it up, different drivers, different vehicles, and finish this video.
Couple fun things we forgot to talk about. This driver's seat can do one of those lie down modes so you can make yourself extra exposed while charging at stations at night.
I can expose myself freely in this as well.
You can do the lie down mode?
No, I can just expose myself, Yuri.
Okay, we also have a fingerprint reader so it knows which driver is driving and it can set it to your settings right away, which is pretty cool. And then in the center console in this trim, we also have a thing that slides out the back so you can have more storage and another tray. Do you have the ambient sounds of the jungle or whatever that I have in this EV9?
No, I don't, Yuri. And what about the visor test, Yuri?
I'm sure they'll both pass. 3, 2, 1.
Yes! All right, dropping back into Cliché corner. I can see your thing just moving all the way around.
Yeah, there's a lot of left and right jiggle jiggle.
Yeah, lots of that. All right, let's see if I can keep up with you. Whoa, probably not. Pulling away on the straight.
That's what they do.
Oh, yeah. No, and you're gone.
Yeah, it's fast, but it's not like Hummer fast. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's not crazy quick, and this thing is ergo motioning my back as well, so it does have that feature in the Telluride.
And then if you're doing daily commuting stuff, both of these have highway driving assist too, which has been very nice. A little aggressive in the EV9, it's like ripping up to people. Maybe it's all that electricity accelerating too quick, but it is good.
And I find the Telluride kind of sways a lot more left and right than I recall.
Ah, that's not good. But we both have the really nice 360 cameras that look all the way around, but the EV9 does have all that cool smart park and all that stuff from the key fob as well.
And if you are buying a 3-row, this is probably your only vehicle you care about towing. The EV9 can tow up to 5,000 pounds. The Telluride can tow up to 5,500 pounds.
Nice. That's pretty cool. I'm sure electric mileage goes down when you tow, but I'm sure your fuel economy does as well too.
Yeah, but at least I could just hit the gas station and be on my way in 30 seconds.
I'm not defending electric cars. I agree with you. I don't care about this.
Well, we should probably get to the price to let the price decide between these.
Catchphrase time. Let's get to the price.
The Telluride comes in at $63,345.
Canadian.
And that EV9 is a whopping $78,995.
All right, is there a EV9 that is cheaper than the most expensive Telluride?
There is actually. It's a rear-wheel drive model with less horsepower and torque.
Less range too, probably, or no?
Yes. So at least there is an option to get that EV9 for less, but in top trim to top trim, there is quite a difference in price. And top trim to top trim, I am going to pick the Telluride between these two because it's kind of proven itself. It's actually been reliable. If you look on the forums, the old generation, this engine has been fantastic.
Yeah, Telluride's more normal. Man, I'm frustrated, I'm angry, I'm stressed out by everything in here, all these weird buttons and things. I couldn't charge it even though the charge said it was on. I would prefer just the normal stuff until we get maybe another like 10, 15 years in the future? And like, what about if this battery fails like Kia and Hyundai batteries do? What if you scrape something and damage the battery cover? How much does a battery replacement cost in this?
There's been a lot of news about the Ioniq 5 battery being approximately $50,000 to $60,000, and that EV9 having a much larger battery, I assume would cost even more, maybe in the $60,000 to $70,000 range, which almost seems like the price of the car is the price of the battery these days.
That's a good point. With all that out of the way, let us know which one you're gonna buy on tsb.truecar.com. Thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, and thanks for suffering through the fog with us.
They're not suffering, it's just us.